I was super sure that we were going to see a GST increment in this budget 2022 because everywhere I read, it seemed to be said it was baked in already, and the indication seemed to suggest an announcement, say maybe 1st of June 2022, because government likes to give us a few months to prepare, right? But the unexpected happened. Government actually will be raising it much later than anticipated. If you haven't seen the news, GST hike will be incremental amounts, which is 8% in 2023 and 9% in 2024. Now, this whole GST increment was first announced in budget 2018, if I'm not wrong. Back then, Minister Heng Swee Keat actually mentioned that government needs more spending on healthcare, infrastructure, security, and this increment was projected to be around 2021 to 2025. So we're hitting the tail end of things and we've been given ample time to prepare. Just like students who haven't done their homework and been trying to procrastinate, finally, D-Day has arrived and we do need to increase this. Since it's delayed for another year or so, it's definitely beneficial because on average, what I hear around is households spend on groceries, dining, bills, about $2,000 to $3,000 per month. And that 2% in saving easily equates to $50, $60 in terms of GST. So that's definitely a big plus, but I'll start today's discussion by showing you what is not going to affect you. Because you may have this question, am I going to pay more taxes with this whole budget 2022 changes? The key component of changes are going to affect those who are wealthier. How wealthy? The first portion is those who are earning income above $500,000. As you can see from this current progressive tax rate, we have cut off the amount at $320,000 to be at 22%. But right now, we're increasing it to 23% for those earning $500,000 above and 24% for those earning $1 million and above. What does this tell you actually? It tells you that quite a lot of people are actually in this $500,000 to $1 million range and $1 million and above, correct? Our old system rounding off all the high income earners above 320 doesn't reflect reality already. There are segments of people in this that need subdivision if you don't really realize this whole breakdown of things. And another point to add is property tax. They're going to raise it. I want to drill deeper on this because this will affect everybody, correct? But if we look in terms of the real dynamics, how it actually works is property tax is Singapore's best answer to wealth tax. In a sense, we tax on the annual value of the property and we'll break down between those that are tenanted and those that are homestay. And to explain annual value, this actually found on IRAS. It explains that a place's potential rent will be used to determine its annual value. So Mr. X, who owns a 3-bedroom at Siglap, gross rent of $4,008, with some reasonable allowance for furniture, furnishings and maintenance fees, his annual value of the property is deemed to be $3,000, which is $36,000. So it's not the full rent, which means most that are earning in terms of rent $5,000 and below do not see such big annual values. That is why it's not going to impact that many people. If we analyze properties with annual value $30,000 and less, you realize that there's actually no difference at all. Just as a reference, my condo's annual value is only $24,000. Then what about this example whereby there's rent collected of $4,800, the annual value of $36,000 plus, correct? How much will property tax be? You realize that it inched up slightly. There's a small portion now in 6%, correct? Again, this is owner-occupied rates. What about for people who have residential properties that are rented out? Then that impact is slightly more felt. But again, marginal, because as we can see, if the annual value is just $24,000, the jump isn't that bad. So marginal increments. The big impact example that Mr. Lawrence Wong has used is those that are really luxury amounts, where the annual value is $150,000. The property must be collecting like $15,000 in annual rent, which means the property value has to be at least like 6-7 million. So what about cars? There is an additional tax for things, correct? And that mainly applies to luxury cars. I went to cross-examine what are luxury cars. And everything I read seems to suggest really high-end cars because the models in discussion are Bentley, Mercedes S450. You see that the difference over there is like 5%, something like that. And those that are mass market cars probably are not going to be impacted by this new change. So I guess that's good news because you can still buy your Toyota, Honda with little or no difference. But there are definitely a lot of people who are using luxury cars. And just in case you thought, hey, are there that many luxury cars? Take a look at this summary table. More than 600 Porsches were sold in 2021. Quite shocking, correct? So Singaporeans really love luxury cars, correct? My further suggestion is why not tax more on the second car of a household? Why just tax luxury cars? Because a household with 2 cars should pay more than one that has 1. So not just tax luxury car, maybe let's tax households for their second car, third car or fourth car, because it will also help to reduce the number of cars on the road. But I've digressed. Let's touch on the key parts that you should know about. There are a few things that are definitely in your benefit, which is the first one. New amounts of CDC vouchers going to be disbursed to you. An additional $100 will be given to each of Singaporeans' household. I was chatting with my sister on it. She said that the bigger vouchers, the $10 ones, the idea is to just use it at Zi Cha because most of the chicken rice don't cost $10. Zi Cha uses bigger amounts, and that is a good place to use it. So new vouchers will be coming, and 1.3 million Singapore households have actually received the previous launch in December 2021. Not just that, parents with children below the age of 21 will get 200 more into their CDA or PSEA accounts. So this is given by government. The top-ups for EduSave and PSEA accounts will begin in May 2022, while the CDA accounts will be done in September 2022. Not just that, there's going to be cash payouts to each Singaporean. So it's shown over here, for those who own more than one property, the minimum total, which is $700. That is also the same for anyone that has accessible income of more than $100,000. But those who are only owning one property or don't own properties, the amount is given based on the annual income. So like for my mom who's retired, the max amount should be received and across 5 years. What about USave vouchers? More would be given. And this again depending on household structure, and the amounts will again be used to offset utility bills. So all in all, a lot of freebies, correct? A lot of money dished out to you in anticipation for future years' GST amounts. In terms of impact, I guess most households won't be affected by the luxury car tax, as well as the high-end property tax, and also the high income tax. So what are your thoughts of this whole budget 2022? Let me know in the comment sections below. Personally, I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm just happy that I don't pay extra GST right away. And with that, let me invite you to leave your thoughts and comments for this podcast in the sections below. And I'll sign off from here. I'll see you in the next one. Take care and goodbye.